Hey, folks, pardon me while I give myself a moment of positive reinforcement. Uh, when I first started this account, back in October of 2023, I didn't like the idea of calling myself a content creator, and I knew I wasn't a fucking influencer. Like I was never going to be that. There's not a chance of that. Who the fuck am I influencing? But I didn't really like the idea of calling myself a content creator because, well, I didn't really feel like I was creating anything. You know, there's people that get on this app and they have really shiny, polished stuff and they put a lot of work into their editing. I don't even know how to work the editor. I barely, I hit a button and then I can rotate the picture. That's about all I know how to do. So I'm essentially a functional idiot, somewhat functional when it comes to actually doing this stuff here on TikTok or any social media. And if I had somebody that actually could like do the stuff for me, I could probably make some pretty good videos, but I don't know how to do any of it. So I'm like I said, I'm basically an idiot. So I didn't really like being called a content creator. I felt like, I had a little bit of that imposter syndrome kind of feeling to it. But through some, reinforcement from some of you here, some friends, that have said, no, you're that, you're that, you're that. And I'm always like, no, I'm not. I'm just some dude on the internet. Um, I don't know. I came to the realization like 2 days ago. I was doing like a quote of the day video and I finished it. And when I finished it, since I don't really pay attention to what I'm actually saying, I watched it back right afterwards to make sure I was, it was okay. And it was fine. But I sat there thinking about it and I was like, yeah, I just talked for 10 minutes and I didn't even know what the fuck I said. Like it was all just like, here's my heart, here's what the little bit of knowledge that I have, and I just pour it into the damn phone. And then, and then I started to think about it. I was like, well, that's creation. I'm literally creating content. Like, it may not be content that people want to see, but it's content nonetheless. And I am creating it. And it's a weird place for me to be because I'm not creative. I'm not. I don't draw anything. I mean, I can sing a little bit, but I don't write my own shit. I sing, with the radio, and I'm okay doing that. But like I'm not. I don't really create anything. I'm not a creative person. I'm an analytical person. I'm somebody that can kind of break shit down. And what's weird about being an analytical person that sucks at math is that your way of understanding the universe isn't actually set in numbers anymore. It's more, language and vibes. And that's really where I'm at right now. But that's when I started to realize that's basically what I do here. I'm basically a language and vibes creator. That's what I do. And I started to think about that. I was like, that's really not that bad. That's actually kind of a cool thing to say. Like, I'm I create language and vibes. I use language to create vibes, and language is something that I appreciate. I appreciate thought. I appreciate understanding. I appreciate growth. I appreciate like those really deep conversations that you can only have like when you're driving in a car late at night and you're just with somebody and you're on a road trip. I spent years of my life every weekend taking a road trip somewhere. I became adept at having these kind of like in-depth, heart-to-heart, really thought-provoking conversations. That's where I honed my craft. And then as time went on, that's just what I do. And I just wanted to take a moment to say, it's weird to kind of find it's weird to find your niche, right? Like it's a weird feeling when you've never been creative in what most people would consider to be a traditional sense, and then all of a sudden you're given or you take, in my case, the opportunity to try to build a platform, and it becomes something that you never intended. I never intended it to end up being like it is, but it is true to who I am. And while, yeah, I may not ever reach the lofty, million followers and shit like that, I'm never going to be a celebrity at this. And I don't really care about that, but I'm never going to get that. But what I am getting is the opportunity to flex that creative muscle that I have in a way that I can and nobody else can really do. And there's something special about that to me. And I hope that if you watch a video like this, if you've watched to this point, that you understand that you have something like that as well. We all have something that we do. And I just think that it's a wonderful, beautiful thing when we can kind of harness whatever our talents and skills are and combine them and do something, even though I'm not getting paid for it. And like I said, I'm not ever going to be this big creator. It's really great to be able to say something that might help somebody somewhere and know that you did your part to get it out, right? I don't know. I was just thinking about it and I said, for the first time in basically 2.5 years, I'm a creator. And I don't know if I sit well with that or not, but I am. I create. And I'm, you know, language and vibes. I'm here for it, baby. So take care of yourself and take care of others. I'll talk to you soon.